Hey, Kit Carney here with the Carney Real Estate Team. I'm with Deb Owen of the Owen Group at Guild Mortgage. A lot of questions on what's going on right now in the market, Deb, and we really want to just break down and give people the real-time facts of what's going on right now because we're hearing a lot of misinformation. What are we seeing in the lending world right now? Uh,
We are hearing a lot of rumors or misinformation, and um, a lot of it revolves around credit scores. A lot of it revolves around how we can still close loans. So as it pertains to credit scores, there has been some changes, and nobody's wrong, okay? So just so you know, no lender's wrong on when they're telling you a credit score requirement. Bottom line is the main investors, and so investors are Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, those are considered your conventional loans. You've got Ginnie Mae, FHA, VA, Rural Development, and every state has their own bond agencies. So here in Idaho, that's IHFA, which is Idaho Housing Finance Association. So all the investors have guidelines. The investors did not change credit score requirements, okay? But what is happening is lenders are changing their own credit score requirements depending on the risk that they are able to take on to do a loan. So my best advice is no lender's wrong. You just need to ask your lender what their credit score requirements are on all the different loan types, because several have increased significantly, but there are lenders out there that have not and still are lending to what's more normal credit score requirements. As it goes to Idaho Housing, they go down to that 620 credit score, so that's still there. And then different loan types, whether it's your government or your conventionals, have different scoring credit scores too. But to say that they all changed on a broad spectrum is incorrect. Rather, the lenders have just decided what risk they want to take, and that's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. But lenders are the ones who are changing the credit score requirement. So does that help answer that?
That helps a lot. I mean, real estate's very hyper local, so it would make sense that it's going to vary from bank to bank. One thing that we have seen is we're worried, everybody's really worried about a slowdown, but I've pulled out some stats on what's going on right now in the market. And I'm going back to about March 16th. That's when we started receiving the stay-at-home orders in the area. In 2019, we had 298 listings, and these are single-family residents. We're just for the sake of conversation, we're going to keep it to residential sales. We had 298 residential sales in 2019 and 260 in 2020. So residential sales have dropped off by about 38 total sales, which is kind of expected. But when we're looking at the average price range, so your average home, 3-bed, 2-bath home, just watching it over the year, what's going on in January, our average price was $216,000. And right now we're up to $222,000. So our prices have still went up. And then I'm looking at the amount of buyers that are on the market right now. We had 42 pendings this week. That means 42 homes went under contract this week. So there's still buyers out there. Are you guys seeing buyers applying for loans right now?
Absolutely. We really haven't slowed down a lot on the application process, the applications, because not only are the statistics great on what's going on, but the interest rates are really low right now still. Actually, interest rates are really on a moving pattern almost every day, but if you're watching it closely and working with your lender closely, rates are still really good. So it's still a really good time to buy and sell properties.
So what is an interest rate on an FHA loan right now if you meet all the qualifications?
Interest rates vary. I can only give you a variance of interest rates because they're going to depend on credit scores also.
Mhm.
But generally speaking, right now today, I just priced them out. We're at 2.75 range and just up above 3 on a government loan, depending on credit scores. And on a conventional is very much credit score driven, as well as loan to value driven, so how much you put down. So you're still looking at that 3.25 rate up to 3.625 rate, and even beyond that, depending on, again, your credit score. But rates are very good right now still.
So over the history of rates, it's fluctuated from 10 to 8 to 17. So 2.75, that's extremely low. I mean, we're still resting like all-time low for rates right now.
Yes, it is.
So those are excellent things. As far as credit scores go, I do want to ask, there's kind of a big question about the future. What's going to happen to some of these people who are currently out of work? Is there any talk or anything on in the future when they look back at this time period of some sort of a forgiveness on the credit issues that people are having right now?
That right now, there has not been a lot of guidance coming out on what's going to happen in the future. Unfortunately, we don't know yet what that means. When people are asking right now for a forbearance of any type of loan, and again, I'm not just talking mortgages. Typically, we see it a lot of times in student loans. What forbearance really does is it stops that moment in time on your credit. So that stops the anything that might be a pain on your credit going forward. But we have not had any instructions or any indication, and I have been asking, my company I know has been asking, and there's just not any guidance right now on what's going to happen with that after this is over. So unfortunately, that one's still just on the fence. One thing I do want to really also get out there, and it's just been my mantra lately, because loan guidelines and loan things are changing on us continually right now. This is very much a mirror of what happened in 2009 and 10 with all the different changes that was going on. Then very much mirroring that is very, very much what is true today may be untrue tomorrow. And I let people know that. Unfortunately, that's not a great direction, but that is the reality right now. And so we're just staying on top of everything that we can as things change.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully there's some sort of a forgiveness on there, and we can see through that in the future for people looking to buy homes, maybe in the next year or so. Again, one thing in the market that I did want to point out is the amount of closings that we're having is actually still up. So everything's still moving good. Again, we talked about it being hyper local. This is the Magic Valley. So what's going on in Sun Valley right now is a completely different story, and what's going on in the Treasure Valley is another story. So right now we're pretty protected because everything, we're very agriculture based and not so much tourist based, and the amount of essential businesses are still up and operable. The amount of closings that we're having per day, this was kind of an interesting number that I came off, and this is the entire Magic Valley. The amount of closings per day on single family residence in January was 5. So on a business day, Monday through Friday, 5.5 homes closed per day in January. In April, it's 8.3. So the amount of closings is still up really high. It's actually gone up. So we may be seeing a little bit of a seasonal shift, and people who were on the fence about buying or selling they may have kind of jumped on one side or the other. So as far as it looks right now, I know that there's a lot of talk about doom and gloom, but the Magic Valley, I'm feeling pretty optimistic that we're hanging tight here, doing really well.
I would agree exactly with that. From what we're seeing with our applications, they have not decreased at all. In fact, they have increased. I don't have a percentage, so I apologize for that. But we have definitely seen an increase in just our applications also. So I feel strong that I feel very optimistic and very strong that when this is over, we're going to come out of it quickly and we're going to come out of it on top.
Yeah. Hey, Deb Owen with the Owen Group at Guild Mortgage. Thanks for joining me. And again, I'm Kit Carney with the Carney Real Estate Team at Keller Williams. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.